a nation of contrasts, wealth and homelessness in America. America, land of opportunity, home of the free, a place where dreams are said to come true, where anyone can rise from rags to riches, a beacon of prosperity. We see these images everywhere, gleaming skyscrapers, bustling cities, and vast landscapes. These symbols of success and wealth are ingrained in the American identity. America boasts the world's largest economy, a military superpower, and a global leader in innovation. From Wall Street to Silicon Valley, the nation is a powerhouse of financial and technological advancements. Yet, amidst this abundance, a stark reality persists. Walk through any major American city, and a different picture emerges. The glittering facade of prosperity hides a troubling underbelly. On street corners and under bridges, thousands sleep rough each night. These are not just statistics. They are human beings with stories, dreams, and struggles. Families huddle in shelters, their belongings crammed into shopping carts. Children grow up in uncertainty, their futures clouded by the instability of their present. This is the face of American homelessness, a stark reminder of the deep inequalities that plague this nation. Each face tells a story of hardship, of a system that has failed them. The contrast is jarring. How can a country so wealthy be home to so much suffering? The sight of luxury cars passing by homeless encampments is a daily reminder of the disparity. The answer lies in a complex web of economic disparities, social injustices, and policy failures. The wealth gap continues to widen, leaving the most vulnerable behind. It's a national shame that in the richest country on earth, so many are denied the basic human right to shelter. The sight of families in distress, living in tent cities, is a stark indictment of our societal priorities. This isn't about individual failings, it's about systemic issues that demand our attention. Community efforts and social workers strive to make a difference, but the scale of the problem requires a collective, national response. Advocacy and policy change are crucial. We must push for reforms that address the root causes of homelessness, from affordable housing to mental health services. Grassroots efforts and community support play a vital role. Volunteers and local organizations work tirelessly to provide immediate relief and long-term solutions. There is hope. New initiatives and affordable housing projects are making a difference. Families are finding stability, and lives are being transformed. Together, we can build a more equitable society, one where prosperity is shared and everyone has a place to call home. The journey is long, but the goal is clear: a nation where no one is left behind. The widening gap, income inequality, and the plight of the poor. One of the most significant drivers of homelessness in America is the ever-widening gap between the rich and the poor. This gap has been growing steadily over the past few decades, creating a stark contrast between those who have more than enough and those who struggle to survive. Income inequality has reached staggering levels. The disparity is not just a number, it translates into real-life consequences for millions of Americans who find themselves on the losing end of this economic divide. The wealthiest 1% of Americans hold a disproportionate share of the nation's wealth, while millions struggle to make ends meet. This concentration of wealth in the hands of a few leaves a vast majority grappling with financial insecurity. Stagnant wages, rising costs of living, and a lack of affordable housing create a perfect storm for financial instability. Many families find themselves caught in a cycle of poverty that is difficult to escape. For those living paycheck to paycheck, even a small financial setback, a medical emergency, a job loss, or an unexpected car repair can push them over the edge. These setbacks can lead to a downward spiral that is hard to recover from. The federal minimum wage, a paltry $7.25 per hour, has not kept pace with inflation, leaving many full-time workers struggling to afford basic necessities. This wage stagnation means that even those who work full-time jobs are often unable to make ends meet. The rising cost of healthcare, childcare, and education further exacerbates the financial strain on low-income families. These essential services are becoming increasingly out of reach for those who need them the most. The American dream, once a promise of upward mobility, now feels increasingly out of reach for millions. The idea that hard work and determination can lead to a better life is becoming a distant memory for many. The reality is that for many, the dream has morphed into a daily struggle for survival. The hope for a better future is overshadowed by the immediate need to find food, shelter, and security. This struggle is not just about numbers and statistics, it is about real people facing real challenges every day. Despite these challenges, there are glimmers of hope. Community organizations and grassroots movements are stepping up to provide support and advocate for change. These efforts, while crucial, highlight the need for systemic solutions to address the root causes of income inequality and poverty. Addressing income inequality requires comprehensive policy changes. This includes raising the minimum wage, investing in affordable housing, and ensuring access to quality healthcare and education. Only through such measures can we hope to bridge the gap and create a more equitable society. It is a collective responsibility to ensure that everyone has the opportunity to thrive. By working together, we can create a society where the American dream is attainable for all, not just a privileged few. The journey towards equality is long, but with concerted effort and compassion, it is possible to make meaningful progress. The housing crunch when a roof over your head is a luxury. In America, access to safe, affordable housing has become a luxury that many cannot afford. The cost of housing, particularly in urban areas, has skyrocketed in recent decades, far outpacing wage growth. The shortage of affordable housing is a crisis that affects millions of Americans. Families are forced to choose between paying rent and putting food on the table. Seniors on fixed incomes struggle to stay in their homes. The lack of affordable housing disproportionately impacts communities of color, who are more likely to face housing discrimination and predatory lending practices. This systemic inequality perpetuates cycles of poverty and homelessness. The situation is dire. We need to build more affordable housing units, implement rent control measures, and provide rental assistance to those in need. Housing is a human right, not a privilege reserved for the wealthy. Section 4. The Mental Health Crisis, Invisible Scars, Visible Homelessness. The issue of homelessness is often intertwined with mental health challenges. A significant portion of the homeless population grapples with mental illness, trauma, and a lack of access to adequate mental health care. Untreated mental illness can manifest in various ways, making it difficult for individuals to maintain employment, stable housing, or healthy relationships. The stigma surrounding mental health often prevents people from seeking help, leading to a worsening of their condition. Trauma, whether from childhood experiences, domestic violence, or military service, can leave deep emotional scars that contribute to homelessness. Without proper support and resources, individuals struggling with trauma may turn to self-medication with drugs or alcohol, further exacerbating their situation. We need to invest in comprehensive mental health services, including affordable therapy, counseling, and medication management. By addressing the root causes of homelessness, we can help individuals heal and rebuild their lives. Section 5. Trapped in addiction, a vicious cycle of despair. Addiction, like mental illness, is another significant factor contributing to homelessness. It is a pervasive issue that affects countless individuals, pushing them further into the margins of society. The opioid epidemic, fueled by the overprescription of painkillers, has ravaged communities across America, leaving a trail of addiction and despair in its wake. This crisis has not only devastated families, but has also led to an increase in homelessness, as individuals struggle to cope with their addiction. Addiction is a complex disease that affects the brain and body. It alters the way the brain functions, making it incredibly difficult for individuals to break free from its grip. The physical and psychological dependence on substances can lead to a downward spiral that is hard to escape. It can trap individuals in a vicious cycle of substance abuse, homelessness, and poverty. Once caught in this cycle, it becomes increasingly challenging to find a way out, as the addiction continues to fuel their homelessness, and vice versa. Breaking free from this cycle requires access to treatment, support, and opportunities for recovery. Comprehensive addiction treatment programs that address both the physical and mental aspects of addiction are essential for helping individuals reclaim their lives. However, access to addiction treatment services is often limited, particularly for those without insurance or financial resources. Many individuals face significant barriers when trying to access the help they need, including long waiting lists and high costs. Long waiting lists, high costs, and a lack of available beds and treatment facilities create significant barriers to recovery. These obstacles can be discouraging and often lead individuals to give up on seeking help altogether. We need to expand access to affordable, evidence-based addiction treatment programs. This includes increasing the availability of treatment facilities and ensuring that they are adequately funded to provide the necessary services. This includes medication-assisted treatment, counseling, and support groups. These components are crucial for a comprehensive approach to addiction recovery, addressing both the physical dependence and the underlying psychological issues. By treating addiction as a public health crisis, we can help individuals reclaim their lives and break the cycle of homelessness. It is imperative that we approach this issue with compassion and a commitment to providing the necessary resources for recovery. Only then can we hope to make a meaningful impact on the lives of those affected by addiction and homelessness.